One of the biggest reasons that I have seen for the businesses to fail or businesses to not reach the potential that they could have reached to has been the ego of the business owner. Yes, you heard me right. I have observed and worked with lots of business owners over the past few years. And if I had to point out one top reason for those businesses to fail or struggle and for people in that organization to struggle, it has been the ego of the business owner. And right now, if you are a business owner and if you're listening to me and if you're feeling uncomfortable or if you're feeling defensive about what I'm saying, that is your ego that is making that happen. Now, there are various degrees that the ego could be. You could still be at a very early stage of it, or it might have taken over completely. Either ways, just listen to this, what I am saying in this video, and figure out where do you fall in this. That's very important for you if you're serious about your growth and the growth of your business as well. So let's understand this, that ego is very important and a very healthy thing to have when we are starting a business. When we are all pumped up, we need that ego, that boost of feeling that we are good at what we are doing, we are good at adding value to our customers. That is a very healthy ego to have. It builds our self-esteem, it keeps our self-image intact, and it keeps us in the action mode, and we feel great and confident about doing what we are looking to do. So it works very well when we start. But what I have observed is, as we move forward and we start hiring, we start building a team, and the business starts moving to its first step on the staircase of growth, I've seen business owners getting stuck in the ego of their knowledge, getting stuck in knowing what they are knowing and that being the only truth, and not constantly learning and evolving with what is happening out there. So that is number one thing that I've observed. Second thing that I've observed with business owners is, this is very funny. They go out there to hire people, right? And they seem to be looking for potential and that kind of people who can add value to business, but they end up hiring people who will just say yes to whatever they are saying. So end of the day, their ego is not letting them hire the right talent. And even if they hire the right talent, the ego doesn't let them to nurture the talent in a way that it should be. So the talent ends up being just a yes man. So he or she just ends up saying yes to everything that you have to say, because they're just trying to boost your ego. They're just trying to keep your ego at bay, and this is stopping you from growing. This is stopping your team from growing. I hope you can see that. It will take a lot of courage for you as a business owner or a business leader to even comprehend what I am saying and accept and even start reflecting on what I am saying, because your ego will tell you this is not you. Whatever he is saying does not apply to you. It could be to someone else. You might even start thinking of names who you feel are entrepreneurs who have ego. But be honest with yourself and ask yourself if you are also in that list. Don't fool yourself. It's not helping anyone. It's just stopping your growth. So, one, I told you about the healthy ego, which is very important when you start. It's great as a business owner to have that. But as we move forward, the first mistake that your ego does is it stops you from learning. You get stuck in that bubble and you know what you know. It's like saying that your favorite color is red, and now everything around you needs to be red. Whatever is not red, you will paint it red because red is your favorite color. But your business is not about you. It's about your people, your team, your customers, your stakeholders. So you need to find out what their favorite color is. And you need to accommodate. You need to work in bringing their favorite color in that workspace, in your products, in your services. Your ego will stop you from doing that. And number two is your people, your team. Don't be somebody who just wants people to say yes to everything. If you actually or honestly want yourself to grow and your business to grow, this will not work. Hire the right talent, hire people who you need as a skill, and hire people who will challenge you. Hire people who will conflict on the ideas that you put around, because that diversity in ideas is what will bring the best out of you, will bring the best of the organization forward. And end of the day, everyone will grow. Third and the most important thing is to allow your team to be courageous, to allow your team to be vulnerable. How do you do that? You do that by being courageous and by being vulnerable yourself, by leading by example. When you do that, your team will have the courage to be themselves. Your team will have the courage to innovate. Your team will have the courage to make mistakes, because their intention is only growth of business, is why they are doing what they are doing, and you need to allow it. How do you do that? By being courageous and being vulnerable yourself, which means telling your people to go out there and try what they can, as long as they are willing to and they're putting their best effort in growth of the business. That is extremely important. And when you allow this courage and vulnerability to sink into the culture of your organization, what you will observe is your team members will not feel scared to tell you their perspective, to share their perspective with you, which could also be giving you feedback and telling you what works and what does not work. Number 4, probably if your ego level is high, if you feel you are sunk into it completely and you're not able to make sense of all these things and you are not able to see it from an outside perspective, then you probably need to hire a CEO. Hire somebody who can actually run your organization with you and grow the organization by giving you a different perspective altogether. So you could hire a CEO, you can actually get a business partner who can work with you but can give you a different perspective altogether. You should never have a business partner who conflicts on your value system. So your value system should match, but he should be able to bring in new ideas, he should be able to challenge you, he should be able to question your perspectives and also share his perspectives. And last but not the least, look for a mentor, look for a coach. Look for somebody who can look at you in a very non-judgmental way, who is constantly looking at you, your team and your business and bringing you that awareness of what is working and what is not working, so that he or she can bring the best out of you and your team and your business. So remember these things and ask yourself very honestly and reflect and saying that, okay, is it me who is the biggest enemy of my business? That is not my intention. I'm sure that is not your intention. But have you fallen into the trap of your own ego, where you feel great about things, but honestly you know that your business is not growing at the potential that it has, your people are not growing at the potential that it has, you're not growing at the potential that you can. So it's high time that you let that ego fall and just keep it at a level where it keeps your self-esteem going, it keeps your confidence going, and it just remains at that healthy level. Don't let your ego stop your growth or the growth of your business or of your people. Be honest with yourself, reflect honestly, and seek help if you need.